Hey, what's up? For this video, I'm talking about one of the most unbelievable scoring seasons the NBA has ever seen. Kobe Bryant in 2006. And honestly, the more you go back and look at it, the more ridiculous it gets. People remember the highlights, the 81-point game, the crazy scoring nights, but when you really break down the full season, it might actually be the most impressive scoring season ever. I honestly think it is. And the biggest reason is context. Kobe averaged 35.4 points per game in 2006. That alone is insane. But what makes it even crazier is the pace of the league at the time. The mid 2000s were one of the slowest eras in modern basketball. Teams were grinding possessions down, scores were low, and defenses were way more physical than they are today. This wasn't the 1960s where teams were taking 120 shots a game, and it wasn't the modern pace and space era either. In 2006, scoring 35 points per game meant you were basically carrying an offense by yourself. And that's exactly what Kobe was doing. Because by 2006, Shaq, he was gone. The Lakers had traded Shaquille O'Neal 2 years earlier. And then suddenly, Kobe was the entire offensive engine. His best teammate that year was Lamar Odom, who was a good player, but he wasn't exactly another superstar. After Odom, the Lakers had guys like Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, and Luke Walton. Every single defense knew exactly what the Lakers were trying to do: stop Kobe. That was the entire game plan. Double him, trap him, send help, whatever you had to do, because everyone in the arena knew Kobe was going to take the shots. And that's the crazy part. Teams knew he was going to take 20 to 30 shots every night, and it still didn't matter because even when defenses were completely locked in on Kobe, Kobe would still drop 40 points like it was nothing. He finished that season with 27 games of 40 points or more. Over the last 50 years, a player scoring 40 or more points in at least 25 games in a season has only happened 3 times. And Kobe's 2006 season happens to be one of them. That alone tells you how special that year was. But when you start looking at the individual performances, that's when it starts to feel almost unreal. Let's start with December 20th, 2005 against the Dallas Mavericks. The 62-point game in 3 quarters. Kobe scored 62 points in just 3 quarters. And here's the part people sometimes forget. He didn't just have 62 points, he outscored the entire Mavericks team at that point in the game. The Mavericks had 61 points, Kobe had 62 by himself, which is unbelievable. Think about that. One player outscoring an entire NBA team through the first 3 quarters. And the Lakers were up by so much that Kobe, he didn't even play in the fourth quarter, which means if the game had been close, who knows what that total could have been. And somehow, it wasn't even his most famous game that season. That same year gave us the legendary 81-point game, January 22nd, 2006, against the Toronto Raptors, which is now the third highest scoring game in NBA history. 81 points. Just saying that number still sounds unreal. And the crazy part about that game is how it happened. The Lakers were actually losing early in the game, and then Kobe just took over the entire game. Every possession felt like it ended with him scoring. Step back jumpers, drives, free throws, 3 pointers. It was every kind of shot imaginable. And by the time the game ended, he had 81 points, carrying the Lakers to the win almost single handedly. That game alone has become one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. But again, it wasn't just one crazy night. That entire season had stretches where Kobe was completely unstoppable, like the run from January 6th to January 11th, when Kobe had 4 straight games scoring 40 or more points, and during that stretch, he averaged 46 points per game, which is video game stuff. And it felt like every week there was another moment where Kobe was just torching a defense. And it felt like every week there was a moment where Kobe just kept on torching defenses over and over and over again. Like when Kobe scored 40 points that season, it was no surprise. He just kept doing it. April 14th, when he dropped 50 points against the Portland Trailblazers, just another night in that season when he completely took over a game. And that was kind of the theme of the entire season. If the Lakers needed points, Kobe was going to deliver them. Because honestly, they really didn't have any other choice. The Lakers' offense depended almost entirely on Kobe creating something. Isolation scoring, contested jumpers, attacking double teams, it didn't matter. Kobe was responsible for carrying the scoring load every single night, and despite that insane workload, he still managed to average 35.4 points per game over the entire season. And when you combine that with the number of massive scoring performances he had, it becomes clear just how much he was carrying that Lakers team. The Lakers ended the season 45-37. Now, it might not sound amazing on paper, but when you consider the roster, that record is actually impressive. Without Kobe, that team probably doesn't even come close to the playoffs. Without Kobe playing at the level he did, they might not even win 20 games. That's how dependent the team was on him, and that's why the scoring numbers are so impressive. It wasn't just high scoring, it was high scoring while carrying the entire offense. Every opponent was building their defensive game plan around stopping Kobe, yet he still kept delivering massive scoring nights over and over again, which is why so many people consider this season the ultimate example of individual scoring dominance. Now, the one thing critics always bring up is the playoffs. The Lakers end up losing in the first round to the Phoenix Suns, but even then, Kobe had them extremely competitive in that series. That series went to 7 games, and the Lakers were actually up 3-1 during the series. Eventually, the Phoenix Suns came back and won the series, but the fact that the Lakers pushed a really strong Suns team to 7 games says a lot, especially considering how much Kobe had already carried the team during the regular season. Kobe's 2006 season wasn't just about scoring numbers, it was about the degree of difficulty, slow-paced air, constant defensive attention, limited offensive help, and yet he still delivered arguably the greatest scoring season the NBA has ever seen. When you combine the 35 points per game, the 27 games of 40 plus points, the 62 and 3/4, and the 81 point masterpiece, it really starts to feel like a historic level scoring dominance. So that'll be it for this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I much appreciate it if you click that like button. Thank you for watching.